Good day, students. So this video is about the introduction of TGO2, Prism, and up to the angle of emergence. So I'm opening my PowerPoint so I can just read it for a while. Kaninang few slides. I'll just read a few slides. So we go first to the introduction or definition of TGO. TGO. So theoretical optics deals with the nature and properties of light and its behavior. So as waves and rays. So in our TO1, we discussed or we dealt more of the theoretical optics. And now in TO2, we will be dealing more of the geometrical aspect of TGO. So geometrical optics deals with straight line propagation of light and formation of images by lenses, mirrors, and prisms. So we had a short discussion about the mirrors sa TO1. So for those new students na doesn't have TO1, we can make an arrangement on how you can catch up. But this is just a very minimal problem because I can always recall in our, I can always include some of the TO1 topics in our videos. Okay, so going to the prism. Prism is a wedge-shaped transparent optical medium bounded by two parallel sides. So it could be plane or it could be curved. So let me just draw it. So this is the prism. Okay. I don't have the actual prism right now because it's in the school. So it will be okay. So we have the parts of this is the physical aspect of the prism is it has two parts. We have the apex, okay, and the base. In our PowerPoint, that was like a 3D illustration of the prism. But simply, prism is apex and base. And the optical property of the prism is light coming from the infinity will pass through the prism. Light will be deviated towards the base. Okay. And the light that will be coming through the prism will be dispersed into 7 spectral colors or the Roy G Biv. The Roy G Biv. So the Roy G Biv is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And the last optical property of the prism is the image will be seen, or the image of the object will be seen at the apex as well as the eye. So those are the physical properties and the optical properties of a prism. So following this video will be the angle of emergence. So it will be a step-by-step video. So I hope you can see it clearly, hear it clearly. Okay? Okay, so going back to the angle of emergence. So I already draw the example that we have in our PowerPoint. Okay? So we have the angle of incidence, 30, the apical angle, 50. So before we can compute for the angle of emergence, we have to first get the angle of refraction. So this is I think this angle of refraction was the last part of the O1 that we had. So I hope you can recall it. So we go to the law of refraction. So we get the R. So for the R, sine incidence okay, over sine R, and then N2 over N1. So what is N1? N1 here is the angle of index of refraction to where the light is coming from. So the light comes from here outside sa prism. So this will be 1.0, or the index of refraction of air. And for the N2, this is the index of refraction of the prism. So this is where the light will go in. So sine R, the sine of incidence is 30 over sine R. So sine of refraction is unknown. We don't know it yet. So we are still computing it. N2 is 1.50. N1 is 1.0 again. Where did we get the N1? So we get the N1 to where the light is coming from. So the light is coming from the outside of the prism, and we assume it's air. So the index of refraction of air is 1.0, and the index of refraction of the prism is 1.50. So you have to cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, so what will happen is it will become sine R times 1.50. You see it? Okay. And then sine 30 times 1.0. Okay. So sine R times 1.50, sine 30 times 1.0. So sine 30, you just have to use your calculators. So I have mine. So for a while, I'll try. So sine 30. So please compute with me also. Sine 30. Sine 30 is, I already computed, no? Nag-compute na po ako. So sine 30 is 0.50. So ako na siya i-erase. So 0.50 times 1.0. So 0.50. So you have also yours. Sorry, hindi mo maklaro, no? Klaro ba? Okay. Times 1.0, so it will become 0.50. And then, to remove the 150 here, 1.50, na-cancel siya, 1.50. 0.50 times 1.50. So 0.33333. So please don't round off in the middle of the computation. So we will round off for the final answers. So 0.3333, and then to get the sign, you have to do the inverse sign. So to do it, so you have the 0.333. So you just do the shift and the sign here. So inverse sign na siya, and then equals. So the answer is 19.471222063. So this is the time we will round off. So the answer now for the angle of refraction is 19.47. So I hope we have the same answers. So now we go to the next procedure. We will be going to get the A, B, C, and then the emergence. So in our PowerPoint, so we are done with the angle of refraction. So the angle of refraction is 19.47. Okay. So now we go to A. Okay. A is equals to 90 minus angle of refraction, or R. So 90 minus 19.47. So A equals 70.53. That's our A. So we're not yet there in the angle of emergence. So we go to B. So I'll try to fit it in. As long as you can just really see how the formulas are being used. So for B, so we have 180 minus apical angle, or A plus the apical angle, or AA. So it is now included, apical is included because we are already in the middle. The light is already in the middle before going out. So 180 minus the apical is, although the A is 70.53 plus apical angle 50. So 180 minus, so that's 120.53. So the B is 59.47. So again, I already calculated. I have my own, I already have my calculations. So please compute with me so that you will know how to use the formulas. So again, it's 59.47. So now, we will be in letter C. So letter C is 90 minus B. 90 minus B. 90 minus 59.47. So C is 30.52. Did you catch up? No. Can you see it? Okay, sorry. So this is the A, B, C. So we are now in the angle of emergence. So the formula for the angle of emergence is E equals sine C over sine E and N2 over N1. So the sine C is the 30.53 that we got in the other formula. So sine E is unknown. Okay, so here the N1 and the N2 will be different. In the angle of refraction, the N1 that we used was 1.0 because that's where the light is coming from. It comes from the air. And now, the N1 here will be 1.50. And the N2 will be 1.0. Okay. Why 1.50? Because the air will be coming, the light will be coming from here, the prism, going out here, sa air. So the N1 or the index of refraction will be 1.50, and then the N2 now will be 1.0, or the air. Okay? So I hope you can see it. Okay, I'll just adjust it. So cross multiply the same with the angle of refraction. So sine E times 1.0. Okay, so cross multiply, and then sine 30.53 times 1.50. Okay, sorry. I hope you can see it. Okay, that way. So the sine 30 is 0.507989441. Okay, let's check. So if you have your calculators, let's check. Okay. Sine 30.53 equals 0.507. Okay, I'll just list it, huh? I'll just write it, sorry. So again, don't round off in the middle of the computation. So 0.5079894413 times 1.50 times 1.50 equals 0.7619846162. 984,162. So again, you will inverse sign so that first you have to cancel the 1.0. You have to distribute it. So sine E 1.0 cancel over 1.0, so it will be the same. Inverse sine. So to inverse sine, you just have to shift sign. So I don't know if other calculators will have the same, will have a different procedure, but here in my calculator, shift. So just shift and sign. So you will have inverse sign equals. So the result is 49.6394338084. So we will round it off. So the angle of emergence is 49.63 or 49.64 degrees. Okay, so that's for the angle of emergence. So I hope you learned something today. So that's how you compute for the angle of emergence. So for the TGO2, we will have a few computations compared to TGO1. So we don't really have to worry. I promise you, you don't have to worry a lot. Even if it's a computation subject, but we will make it a little bit lighter, no? For us to understand. And after this, I think we will only have 3 or 4 formulas for TGO2. So that's all for today. Angle of emergence, Prism. So if you have any question, concern, or you want a further discussion, please chat me in our chat box. So you can always chat me in our chat box. Okay, so thank you for listening and thank you for watching. I won't say please subscribe, but I will say stay safe and God bless.